Hello friends, this is Dr. Arpesh Chauhan, Professor and Head, Department Electronics and Communication Engineering at IMS Engineering College, Ghaziabad. I welcome you all in my new lecture of subject microprocessor and microcontroller. Today in my lecture I am going to discuss timer, counter and serial communication programming. So in this timer programming, as already explained in my previous lecture, this timer can be operated in different modes of operation, that is mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, like that. So here I am going to discuss the mode 1 timer programming. The following are the characteristics and operation of this mode 1 of timer. The first point is that it is a 16-bit timer, therefore it allows value of 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to F, 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 H to be loaded into the timer register. So in 8051 microcontroller we have 16-bit timer, and this timer can be splitted into two 8-bit register, that is TL low byte timer register and TH high byte timer register. After TH and TL are loaded with a 16-bit initial value, the timer must be started. So the second step is that we must load the 16-bit value into the TL and TH register of timer. Once the value can be loaded, the initial value can be loaded in the timer register, the timer must be started with the help of this instruction, that is set B TR0. This 0 will indicate that this is timer 0, and set B TR1, and here this 1 will indicate that this is for the timer 1. So with the help of this instruction set B TR0 and set B TR1, we can able to start the timer once the timer is loaded with the initial value. After the timer is started, it start to count up until it reaches its limit of the final value, which is F, 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 H. So this is the mode 1 timer programming. In this timer programming, this mode 1 timer programming, the next point is that when it rolls over from F, 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 H to 0, 0, 0, 0, H, means once the final count is reached and once the timer is again roll over from the final value to the initial value, it sets high a flag bit, that is called the timer flag. So timer flag is for the timer 0, that is TF0, and the for timer 1 it is TF1. So it will set the timer flag. Each timer has its own timer flag. For timer 0 it is TF0 for timer 0, and TF1 for timer 1. This timer flag can be monitored. When this timer flag is raised, one option would be to stop the timer. Once the timer flag is raised, the option is that we need to stop the timer with the help of instruction, that is CLR TR0 for timer 0 and CLR, that is clear timer 1 for timer 0 and timer 1 respectively. So with the help of this software instruction we can able to stop the timer. After the timer reaches its limit and rolls over, in order to repeat the process, TH and TL must be reloaded with the original value and TF must be reloaded to the 0. So this way we can able to reload the value in the timer. So in the with the help of this diagram we can able to that explain the mode 1 timer programming. Here the crystal frequency, the crystal oscillator is used to generate a frequency which is 11.0592 megahertz. This crystal frequency is divided by 12 and the resulting frequency is 921 kilohertz, which is the input frequency for this timer operation of 8051. So this frequency is needed for the timer operation. Then we have this 16-bit register which is divided into two parts, this TH and TLL, TH and TL register of timer, low order and high order register, and here this timer flag. So this timer flag will set when there is a rollover takes place, means the value is loaded into the timer register. This is the initial value here. See here the status of this timer flag is 0, then it is again 0 to start the counting. The timer will start reloaded with the initial value, and once it reaches to this final value and from final value to the again initial value, see here the status of the timer flag is 1 to indicate that there is a rollover. So this is the meaning of the rollover. The following are the steps which is required to follow during the mode 1 programming of the timer. That step is to generate a time delay. This the steps which is required to generate a time delay in mode 1 of timer. The first point is that load the TMOD register value, TMOD value register indicating which timer 0 or timer 1 is to be used and which timer mode, that is 0 or 1, is selected. So in 8051 microcontroller we have 8-bit TMOD register. With the help of this TMOD register we can able to select the timer whether timer 0 is used or timer 1 is used for the required operation, and again we need to select the mode of operation whether we go for the mode 0 and mode 1 operation. So this TMOD register is used to select the timer as well as the mode of operation. Then second point is that load register TL and TH with initial count value. So once the timer is selected and the mode of operation is selected, the second step is that we need to load the TH and TL register with the count value. Once the value is loaded, the next point is that start the timer with the help of instruction SETB TR0 or TR1, depending upon which timer we are using for that particular operation. Then once this timer will start, we need to keep monitoring the timer flag, that is TF, with the help of instruction JNB TFX. This X will indicate that whether we are using the timer 0 or timer 1, that corresponding flag is TF0 or TF1 with the help of instruction, that is JNB TFX target. Target is nothing but the address where we need to transfer the control. To see if it is rise, get out from the loop when TF becomes high. So when this timer flag is high, then we come out from the loop, then stop the timer. This is the next point with the help of instruction, that is CLR, clear timer 0 or timer 1, then clear the timer flag for the next round and go back to the step 2 to load the TH and TL value. So these are the steps which are required to follow during the mode 1 programming. Let's see the program in mode 1, that is generate a square wave of 50% duty cycle with equal portion high and low on P1.5 bit, use timer 0 to generate the time delay. So here in this program we need to generate a 50% duty cycle square wave on this P1.5 bit, use timer 0 for the required operation. So this is the program. The first step is that we need to configure TMOD register, which is 8-bit register, and here with the help of this configuring TMOD register we need to select this timer 0 mode 1 operation, which is 16-bit mode. Then load the 16-bit value, that is F2 in TL0 register, that is low byte, and FFH into the TH register. So here the 16-bit value, this is the second step which is required to follow. So 16-bit value can be loaded into the timer L and TL0 and TH0 register. Once the value is loaded, we need to start the timer. So here again we need, in this particular program we need to provide generate the square wave. So here we use this instruction CPL to complement the P1.5 bit, that is logic 1 and logic 0 with the help of this instruction. So toggle P1.5, then to generate a required time delay we call a subroutine, that is the A call delay subroutine. With the help of this instruction the microcontroller will transfer the control from main program. It will call the subroutine, that is this delay subroutine, and the first instruction this delay subroutine is that we need to start the timer with the help of instruction SETB TR0, because already we have loaded the 16-bit value in TL0 and TH register. So with the help of this instruction start the timer 0. Then once this timer will start, then we need to monitor the timer flag with the help of instruction JNB TF0 again. So monitor the timer flag 0 until it rolls over. Once it rolls over, come out from the loop, stop the timer 0, clear the timer flag, and the last instruction of each and every subroutine is nothing but the RET instruction. So once the microcontroller will execute this return instruction, it will return back into the main program and it will execute this instruction SJMP here. So this is the program which is required to generate a 50% duty cycle with the help of timer 0 on this P1.5 bit of microcontroller. Next is the mode 2 timer programming. So following are the characteristics and operation of mode 2. So before discussing the mode 2 timer programming, we need to discuss the characteristics of the characteristics and operation of mode 2 of timer. So it is an 8-bit timer. So remember, it is required to remember that mode 2 timer is nothing but it is a 8-bit timer. It allows only value that is 00 to FFH to be loaded into the timer register, that is TH register. So here in mode 2 we need to load the initial value which is 00 and the final value is FF, because it is a 8-bit timer. After TH is loaded with the 8-bit value, the 8051 gives a copy of it to TL register. Then the timer must be started with the help of this instruction SETB TR0 or TR1, which timer we are using. This is done by the instruction that is SETB TR0. This is the instruction which is used to start the timer 0, and SETB TR1 for timer 1. After the timer is started, it starts to count up by incrementing the TL register. It count up until it reaches the limit, the maximum limit or the final value, that is FFH. When it rolls over from FFH to 0, it sets high the timer flag. So once the rolls over will takes place, the timer flag is set to indicate that rollover is there. So this is the characteristics and operation of mode 2 timer. So which can be explained with the help of this particular slide. When the TL registers roll over from FF to 0 and TF is set to 1, TL is reloaded automatically with the original value kept by the TH register, because it is auto reloaded mode. Mode 2 is nothing but auto reload mode. So here the value of TL is original value kept by the TH is reloaded. To repeat the process, we must simply clear timer flag and let it go without any need by the programmer to reload the original value, because it is auto reload mode. This makes mode 2 an auto reload in contrast with mode 1, in which programmer has to reload the value on TH and TL register. So always we prefer mode 2 because it is a auto reload mode, and which can be explained with the help of this figure. So here the crystal is used to generate a frequency which is 11.0592 megahertz, which is divided by 12. The resulting frequency is 921 kilohertz, which is used for the timer operation. And here this is the auto reload mode. So the maximum value which can be loaded, that is 255 in decimal, and in hexadecimal it is FF. So this is the characteristics and operation of mode 2 programming. The following are the steps which are required in mode 2 to generate a time delay. First, load the TMOD register indicating which timer we are going to select. So TMOD register is 8-bit register. With the help of this register, we can able to select the timer 0, timer 1, then mode of operation. Since it is a mode 2, so mode 2 operation is selected, which is the auto reload mode. Load the TH register with the initial count value, because it is auto reload mode, so we need to load TH register with 8-bit value. Once the value is loaded, next step is that start the timer with the help of instruction SETB TR0 or TR1. Keep monitoring the timer flag. Once the timer is started, we need to keep monitoring the timer flag whether it is set or reset with the help of instruction JNB TFX target instruction to see whether it is rise, get out. When the timer flag is set, get out from the loop and or come out from the loop, because timer flag is set to indicate that there is a rollover. Then clear the timer flag and go back to step number 4, because it is auto reload mode. So since mode 2 is auto reload, so we directly need to start the timer with the help of instruction. So this is the basic steps which is required to follow during the timer programming in mode 2. So let's see the programming of mode 2. So write a program to generate a square wave on pin P1.0. So here we are using the port 1 P1.0 pin. Assume crystal frequency is 11.0592 megahertz. Here the crystal frequency is given, which is 11.0592 megahertz. So in mode 2 we need to follow the following steps. According to that, first we need to configure TMOD register with a value that is 20. So T1 is 8-bit, timer 1 is selected, it is 8-bit in auto reload mode. So here the 8-bit value which can be loaded into the TH1 register, that is 05 is the value which can be loaded into the TH1 register. Once the value can be loaded, we need to start the timer with the help of instruction SETB TR1. So with the help of this instruction, we will start the timer. Once the timer is start, or it will start, we need to monitor the timer flag with the help of the instruction JNB TF1 target till the timer roll overs. So we need to keep monitoring the timer flag whether it is 0 or 1. Once the timer flag is set, comes out from the loop and complement P1.0 because we need to generate a square wave on P1.0, so we need to complement, then clear timer flag because the rollover is there, and SJMP back, then again we'll need to monitor because this is auto reload mode. So this is the procedure which is required to follow during the mode 2 timer programming. Next is the counter programming. Timer can also be used as a counter for counting event happening outside the 8051 microcontroller. So the timer can be used for the counter programming. When it is used as a counter, it is a pulse outside of the 8051 that increments the TH and TL resistors. So when the timer can be used for the counter programming, so it will receive the pulse from the outside of the 8051 and it will keep on increment the value of TH and TL resistor. So again, in this counter programming, T mode and TH TL resistors are the same as for the timer, which discussed in the timer programming. So again, we need T mode resistor, TH and TL resistor of timer. Programming the timer also apply the programming it as a counter except the source of the frequency which is required for the counter programming. The counter or timer bit in the T mode resistor, we have the counter or timer bit in T mode resistor decide the source of the clock for the timer or counter operation. When this counter or timer bit of T mode resistor is 1, the timer is used as a counter and gets its pulses from the outside the 8051 microcontroller. So with the help of this particular bit of T mode resistor, that is counter or timer, when the status of this particular bit of T mode resistor is 1, it will decide that timer is used as a counter. The counter counts up as a pulses are fed from the pin 14 and 15 for the 8051 microcontroller. These pins are called timer 0 input and timer 1 input. So in 8051 microcontroller, we have pin number 14 and pin number 15 which will receive the input, and these particular pins which belongs to timer 0 and timer 1 which will receive the external pulses from the outside for the counter programming. So let's see the counter programming, that assuming that the clock pulses are fed into the pin, that is T1, the pins which is responsible for timer 1 operation, then write a program for counter 1 in mode 2 to count the pulses and display the state of the TL1 count on P2 which connect to 8 LEDs. So here in this program we need to count a pulses which are fed into this pin T1. Write a program for counter 1. We need to select a counter 1 in mode 2 to count the pulses and display the state of the TL1, what will be the value on this TL1, that's count on P2 which connect to 8 LEDs. So this port 2 is connected to 8 LEDs. So for that particular mode or program, we need to configure T mode resistor with the value for selecting the counter 1 mode 2, that is here the status of this counter or timer bit of T mode resistor is 1. It means that we are configuring this timer for the counter programming. Then this is mode 1, so we need to initialize for mode 2 operation, it is auto reload mode, so we need to initialize the TH1 with a value of 0, then set P3.1, set bit P3.5. so this P3.5 bit is set to 1, make T1 as a input because this P3.5 bit of port 3 is corresponding to the timer 1 input, so we need to configure it as an input. Then start the counter because the value can be loaded, then move the value, that is the TL1 value, into the accumulator register and from accumulator to the P2 register. Whatever be the value on this timer which can be copied into the accumulator and from accumulator to port P2 where the 8 LEDs are connected. Then we keep on monitoring the timer flag for the rollover. Then once the rollover takes place, come out from the loop, clear the timer flag and SJMP again. So this is the program which is required to count the pulses which is fed to timer 1. Next is serial communication programming to allow data transfer between the PC and 8051 system without any error, we must make sure that the baud rate of 8051 system matches the baud rate of the PC, that is the PC's COM port. So we need to that ensure that the baud rate can be matched between the PC, that COM port, and the 8051. Then the SBUF is a 8-bit register used to for serial communication. So we use this SBUF register for the serial communication. For a byte data to be transferred via the TXD line, it must be placed in the SBUF register. So we use this SBUF register to transfer the byte. The moment a byte is written to the SBUF register, it is framed with the start and stop bit and transferred serially via the TXD line. So we need to frame the data bit in between the start and stop bit. SBUF holds the byte of data when it is received by 8051 on this RxD line. When the bits are received serially, RxD pin, the 8051 deframe it by eliminating the stop and start bit, making a byte out of that received and then placing it to the SBUF register. So in the receiving end, we need to deframe this the data by eliminating the start and stop bit and the bytes of the data which is received and then placing it to the SBUF register. This is the process which is required to follow in the serial communication programming. So for the serial communication programming, we use the special function register, that is SCON register, which is 8-bit register, and these are the bits. The significance of this SCON register, the physical structure of SCON register is used. So here with the help of SM0, SM1, the serial port mode specifier, these bits belongs to serial mode, serial port mode specifier, serial port mode specifier bit, that is SM0 and SM1. SM2 used for multiprocess communication. Then select or clear by software to enable or disable the reception, not widely used, that is these bits are not widely used. Then this TI and RI, this is used for transmit interrupt flag, and RI used for the receive interrupt flag. So these are the physical structure. This is the physical structure of the SCON register, which is the special function register of the 8051 microcontroller. In serial communication programming, the following are the procedure which is required to follow. In programming the 8051 to transfer a character byte serially, TMOD register is loaded with the value, that is T20, which indicate that use of timer 1 in mode 2, that is 8-bit auto reload to set baud rate. So we need to match the baud rate between the microcontroller and the communication port. So here the TMOD register is configured with the value 20. The TH1 is loaded with the one of the value to set the baud rate for serial data transfer operation. The SCON register is loaded with the value, that is 50H, indicating serial mode 1, where an 8-bit data is framed with start and stop bit. Then once the value can be loaded, TR1 is set to 1 to start the timer 1. Then TI is cleared by with the help of instruction. Its timer interrupt is cleared by the instruction CLR TI instruction. The character byte to be transferred serially is written to the SBUF register. The TI flag bit is monitored with the use of the instruction, that JNB TI. So with the help of that, we will monitor the timer interrupt flag to see if the character has been transferred completely or not. So once the character is transferred completely, this can be indicated by the TI flag. So we need to monitor the TI flag, that is timer interrupt flag, with the help of this software instruction. To transfer the next byte, go to the step number 5. So these are the steps which are required for the serial communication programming. So here write a program for the 8051 to transfer letter A serially at baud rate. So this is the baud rate which is given 4800 continuously. So here as discussed previously, that we need to configure this TMOD register with a value 20H. So the meaning of that, here we need to select the timer 1 mode 2, that is auto reload mode. So we need to configure TMOD register with a value 20H. Then since it is auto reload mode, 8-bit auto reload mode, so here we need to configure this TH1 register with a value, that is -6, which is for the 4800 baud rate. So with the help of this value, we can able to select the baud rate for the serial communication, which is 4800. Then we need to configure SCON register with a value, that is 50, which is 8-bit, one stop and one 8-bit, that is one start stop and stop bit, and the REN enabled. Then once the value can be loaded, we need to start the timer with the help of instruction set BTR1, and once the timer is start, we need to monitor the transferring the letter to the SBUF register. When this letter is completely transferred, we need to monitor that whether this TI flag is set to 1. If this TI flag is set to 1, that the letter can be or the character can be completely transferred. So this TI, once the TIs indicate that the transfer is done completely and it will come out from the loop, then we need to clear the timer interrupt and repeat the process by executing this instruction as JMP again, and it will transfer the control from this particular memory location. So this is the serial communication programming. With the help of this, we can able to transfer the letter A with a baud rate 4800, which is nothing but the baud rate in between the 8051 and the serial communication port. So here for this serial communication programming, the important thing is that we need to configure TMOD register with a value that is for selecting the timer and mode 2 operation, which is auto reload. And for this 4800, because it is given in this question, so we need to configure this SCON the timer with a value that is TH1, or load the value that is TH1 with a value -6, which is for 4800 baud rate, and configure SCON register with a value 50H for the 8-bit 1 start and stop bit and REN bit of the SCON register. So this is the program which is required to transfer the character A serially with a baud rate 4800 continuously. Then importance of TI flag. So the steps that 8051 goes through in this transmitting a character via TXD, the byte character to be transferred is written into the SBUF register. The start bit is transferred first, then the 8-bit character is transferred on bit at a time. The stop bit is transferred. It is during the transfer of the stop bit that 8051 raises the TI flag, indicating that the last character was transferred. So during the serial transfer, we need to frame the 8-bit in between the start and stop bit. Once the stop bit is transferred, then the TI flag is raised to indicate that this is the stop bit which is transferred. By monitoring the TI flag, we make sure that we are not overloading the SBUF. If we write another byte into the SBUF before TI is raised, the untransmitted portion of the previous byte will be lost. So this is need to take care. After SBUF is loaded with a new byte, the TI flag bit must be forced to 0 by the instruction CLR-TI in order for this new byte to be transferred. So in serial communication programming the 8051 to receive character byte serially, TMOD register is loaded with a value that is 20H, TH1 is loaded to set the baud rate, the SCON register is loaded with the value of 50H, which is required to this is the important point which is required to consider for 8-bit data frame with start and stop bit. TR1 is set to 1 to start timer 1, RI is cleared by clear RI instruction. For serial communication programming, the RA flag bit is monitored with the use of instruction GNB RI address to see if the entire character has been received or not. When RI is raised, SBUF has the byte, its contents are moved into the safe place. To receive the next character, go to the step number 5. So these are the steps which are required to follow during the serial communication programming to receive the byte. So here we need to monitor the RA flag instead of TI flag, because we need to receive the byte. So here we need to consider that RA flag, that is the receive interrupt flag interrupt. So here let's discuss the program related with the serial communication. So write a program for 8051 to receive a byte of data serially and put them in P1. Set the baud rate again, that is 4800, that is 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. So here we need to configure TMOD register with a value 20H for selecting timer 1, mode 2, auto reload. Then for 4800 baud rate, we need to configure we need to transfer a value that is -6 to this TH1, which for 4800 baud rate, selecting the 4800 baud rate. Then configure SCON register with a value 50, that is 8-bit 1 stop and start bit, that is REN enable. Then set B timer 1, start the timer 1. Then monitor the RI flag, wait for character to come in. Then move this character from SBUF to the safe place, saving in incoming byte, that is A, into the accumulator, and from accumulator to P1 port P1 of 8051 microcontroller. Then clear the RI flag and transfer the control by executing this instruction as JMP here to the particular memory location. So these are the this is the program which is used to receive the byte at a baud rate of 4800 with 8-bit data, 1 start and 1 stop bit. So, this is the program which belongs to receive a byte from this port in the serial communication. Thank you.